Welcome to the African Lens channel, your reliable source for timely and authentic news from across Africa and the diaspora. If you value justice, freedom, and thoughtful discussion, you're in the right place. Before we begin today's vital topic, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're always updated with the latest news. We also invite you to engage in the comments after watching. Share your thoughts respectfully. This is a space for intelligent dialogue, not hate. Disclaimer: the views in this video are meant for information and analysis. While our content is based on credible sources, official statements, and verified public information, we urge viewers to fact-check independently and approach all topics with a critical mindset. In a candid street interview, Julius Malema, the fiery leader of South Africa's economic freedom fighters, EFF, took direct aim at both the US President Donald Trump and South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. Malema was speaking in the context of growing global attention on his party, an attention amplified when video clips of his speeches, including the controversial struggle song Kill the Bull, were shown during a White House meeting. The videos were reportedly brought up by Donald Trump to criticize Ramaphosa's handling of political dissent and to push a narrative that Malema is a threat to white South Africans. Responding, Malema rejected the framing entirely. He emphasized that the EFF was not built for votes alone. Instead, he said the party exists to educate and awaken the South African people, particularly around issues of economic justice and freedom. If we can convert 2 or 3 people to our message, that is a success, Malema insisted, highlighting the movement's long-term goals over short-term election wins. He pointed to South Africa's failing municipalities, particularly those mismanaged by the ruling African National Congress ANC, arguing that the EFF is ready to restore dignity and services in those areas. Malema noted that people are welcoming the EFF across the country, contrary to claims that the party is fading. He took particular issue with Donald Trump's questioning of why Malema hadn't been arrested by Ramaphosa. According to Malema, Trump's language was coded. When Trump asked, "Why is this man not in jail?" Malema said the implication was, "Why is this man not dead?" He compared it to US foreign policy actions in countries like Libya, where calls for a no-fly zone translated into military intervention and ultimately the assassination of Muammar Gaddafi. Malema warned that the same imperialist logic applies to how figures like him are viewed, as threats that must be neutralized.
Failed municipality under the previous leadership of the ANC and the current one, especially Kwakwati, Ward 16. We want to fix it and we want to do it working with our people. Our chances look very high and we stand a very good chance. Our people are happy to receive the economic freedom fighters. But you will know that we don't exist just for vote. We exist to conscientize our people on the ground. So if we convert 2-3 people to believe in the message of economic freedom, that will be a big achievement for us. But we're going to put up a good fight. You can already see here, we don't want people from outside this world. We're only dealing with people from this world.
Mr. Malema, you spoke a lot about your safety, especially given the utterances that were made by Mr. Trump. We see also an increased number of security. Are you really fearful for your life? And secondly, just to speak about how do those utterances by Mr. Trump, how do they affect the EFF, especially going into the local government elections?
Well, I'm not fearful. As a revolutionary, part of being killed is one of those honors you must wear with pride. But I'm not going to be reckless. When he says to Ramaphosa, "Why is this man not in jail? Why are you not arresting this man?" He simply means, why are you not killing this man? Because this man wants to kill white people. That's what he believes. And imperialism, especially the USA, it makes such remarks meaning something different. If you remember how they killed Gaddafi, they said no-fly zone and any other necessary means in Libya. And that meant Gaddafi is going to be killed. And that's how they took care of that situation in Libya. So we know imperialism kills.
But perhaps Malema's sharpest criticism was reserved for President Cyril Ramaphosa. He accused Ramaphosa of failing to defend South Africa's constitution in the face of international pressure. When Trump made his remarks, Malema argued Ramaphosa should have made it clear that South Africa is governed by a constitutional democracy, and that even if he wanted to, he had no legal authority to arrest Malema without violating the very laws he sought to uphold. Instead, Malema said the president crouched down in fear. He went further, accusing the ANC leadership present during that Oval Office conversation of betraying the anti-apartheid struggle. Figures who had once been youth league leaders and defenders of struggle songs, Malema said, sat silently while the historical context of Kill the Boer was erased. He argued the song is symbolic, not a literal call to violence, but a rejection of white supremacist systems. For Malema, the failure to explain this amounted to a betrayal of the struggle. He added that Ramaphosa appeared to elevate certain ministers over others based on race, pointing to the agriculture minister being promoted ahead of the Minister of International Relations, who he claimed was sidelined despite his experience and qualifications. Malema expressed his disappointment with the silence and fear displayed by the delegation that accompanied Ramaphosa. He said only a few white South Africans at the meeting looked confident, suggesting a racial imbalance in how power and voice were distributed during the high-stakes engagement.
The president of South Africa was unable to defend the constitution of South Africa to say, this thing that you are accusing him of and saying to us we must arrest him. Firstly, we are a constitutional democracy and we are governed by the rule of law. The judiciary has expressed itself on this matter, including the highest court in the land. If I arrest him for that, then I will be violating the constitution of South Africa, which I must respect. He failed to do that. So when a president fails to do that, you have a responsibility to defend yourself. And that's exactly what we're doing. The EFF is more powerful now. Everybody else, all of you, including Sam Kelo, you said EFF is dead, EFF is irrelevant, and all of that, only to find it in the Oval Offices and to find it in the White House. And for a USA president to argue with the South African president who's in denial, who says, this is just a small party, it's so insignificant. He says, that's not a small party. This party can gather 100,000 people under one roof in a stadium where I can't even see a single empty seat. You can't say that is a small party. We are not a small party. That's why imperialism is very scared of us.
Malema's comments have sparked intense debate within South Africa and abroad. Among his supporters, the interview was seen as a bold act of resistance against both Western imperialism and a weakening ANC establishment. Many EFF loyalists praised Malema for standing his ground, especially in the face of what they see as US attempts to undermine African self-determination. The reference to Libya and the framing of Trump's comments as death threats raises alarms about how political discourse is evolving in Africa's democracies, especially under the shadow of foreign influence. Others point out the troubling implications of a global superpower spotlighting a domestic opposition figure in such a charged way. Was this just rhetoric, or could it invite more direct political interference? Inside South Africa, the ANC has yet to issue a comprehensive rebuttal. Ramaphosa's silence, both in Washington and back home, is being interpreted by some as a sign of weakness. Parliament may become the next battlefield, as Malema promised to confront these issues in upcoming sessions. So is Julius Malema simply being provocative, or is he voicing a deeper truth about power, legacy, and justice in post-apartheid South Africa? What does it mean when African voices are amplified in foreign capitals, only to be scrutinized or silenced? And will this moment mark a turning point for the EFF as a true challenger to the ANC's dominance? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And for more stories that matter across Africa, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Africa Lens. Your voice makes this journey possible.